was exactly 3 a.m. when Ethan Blake's phone began to ring. He didn't notice at first. The night was too still, too thick, with the kind of silence that presses against the walls and breathes down your neck. His small apartment sat on the 5th floor of an aging building in downtown Chicago, and the only light came from the digital clock beside his bed, glowing a dull, red 3 o'clock. The phone kept ringing. At first, Ethan thought it was his alarm, or maybe a wrong number. But then, the ringing stopped, and a voicemail icon blinked on the screen. He hesitated before playing it. A distorted voice whispered through the speaker. "Ethan, you shouldn't have ignored the call." He sat up instantly, heart pounding. The voice was low, broken, but familiar. He replayed the message, holding his phone close to his ear, but the line dissolved into static halfway through. "You shouldn't have," hisses, and then nothing. Ethan rubbed his temples. Probably one of his friends pulling a prank again. He'd been working late shifts at the 911 emergency dispatch center, and everyone knew he hated late-night calls. He deleted the message, but the phone rang again. Same number. Unknown. 3:03 a.m. This time he answered. "Hello." Silence. He could hear faint breathing, slow, shallow, deliberate. "Who is this?" No answer. Then the breathing stopped, replaced by a whisper that slithered through the line. "Check the door." Ethan froze. He turned toward his apartment door. A faint scratching sound echoed from the other side, like nails dragging across wood. His mind raced. Was someone actually there? He grabbed the baseball bat from beside his couch and stepped toward the door. Scratch, scratch, scratch. He peered through the peephole. Nothing. The corridor was empty. When he turned back toward his phone, the call had disconnected. He locked the door, set the bat aside, and muttered, "I'm definitely not sleeping tonight." The next morning, Ethan walked into the dispatch center half awake, eyes ringed with exhaustion. His coworker, Lila, noticed immediately. "You look like death, Blake. Rough night." He forced a smirk. "Just some prank calls at 3 a.m. probably kids." Lila frowned. 3 a.m.? That's weird. You know what they say about that hour. He rolled his eyes. "Oh no, don't tell me you believe in that supernatural hour stuff." Lila leaned closer. "The witching hour, Ethan. Between 3 and 4 a.m., when the veil between worlds is thinnest." He chuckled nervously. "Yeah, I'll remember that next time someone prank calls me." That night, Ethan tried to stay up. He left the TV on, scrolling through channels, the sound keeping him company. Midnight passed. 1 a.m., 2 a.m. At 2:59 a.m., his phone lit up again. Unknown number. He didn't answer. But his TV suddenly flickered. Static engulfed the screen. And through the white noise, a face appeared. Blurred, pale, eyes wide open. Then came the voice again, from the TV speaker this time. "You shouldn't have ignored the call, Ethan." He stumbled backward, grabbing his phone. The call ended itself, and a notification appeared. New voicemail. He hesitated before pressing play. The message was clearer this time. "You left her alone. She called for help, and you didn't answer." His blood ran cold. "What the hell? Who is this?" he shouted into the empty room. No reply. But deep in his memory, something stirred. 5 years ago, he'd been working an overnight dispatch shift when a girl called, crying, begging for help. He remembered her voice trembling as she said, "He's coming, please hurry." Then the call cut out. They never found her. Her name was Lydia Carter. Ethan had tried to move on, but guilt had haunted him ever since. He stared at the phone, his throat tightening. No, it can't be. At 3:07 a.m., there was a knock at the door. Not scratching this time. A clear, steady knock. He didn't move. Then 3 knocks. And a whisper through the door. "Ethan, answer me." His phone buzzed again. Another call. Same number. He answered, trembling. "Lydia." The voice was soft, broken. "You promised you'd help me." Ethan's knees gave way. He sank to the floor, gripping the phone. I tried." The call disconnected. "We traced it, but you didn't come." "Lydia, please, what do you want?" Her tone shifted, cold, hollow. "I want you to feel what I felt." The lights in his apartment flickered, plunging him into darkness. He scrambled for the switch. Nothing worked. The TV flickered back to life, showing the grainy footage of a woman standing in the middle of a road, drenched in rain. Lydia. Then headlights. Screeching tires. A scream. Ethan dropped the remote. No. The screen went black, except for one line of text. 3 a.m. Answer the final call. The next day, Lila tried calling Ethan. No answer. He didn't show up for work. Concerned, she drove to his apartment that evening. The hallway lights flickered as she reached his door. Ethan? It's Lila. No response. She tried the handle. Unlocked. The room inside was dark, cold, eerily still. The only sound was the faint buzzing of his phone on the floor. On the screen, one missed call, 3 a.m. Lila picked it up. Her reflection glowed on the cracked screen. Then, the voicemail icon blinked. She pressed play. A whisper, barely audible. You shouldn't have answered. The line cut to static. Then another call. Same number. Lila hesitated. Hello. A voice replied, faint and trembling. Help me, he didn't answer. The call disconnected. Lila dropped the phone, and from the shadows behind her, the screen of the TV flickered to life. A news report appeared. Former 911 dispatcher Ethan Blake found dead in his apartment early this morning. Cause of death unknown. Sources say his phone showed repeated missed calls at exactly 3 a.m. Lila's breath caught. The reflection on the TV wasn't hers anymore. It was Lydia's, staring back, smiling faintly. Then, the power cut out. 3 days later, Ethan's number began calling random people across the city. Always at 3 a.m. Most ignored it. Some answered. None of them were ever seen again. And if your phone ever rings at 3 a.m., you'll hear a soft voice whispering through the static. The same words that haunted Ethan to his grave. You shouldn't have ignored the call.